welcome back to the LEC, where we are joined by Mikyx for our brand new segment, The Weave Corner, where we'll be discussing the latest episode of Kimetsu no Ya... Never mind, I've been told we're canceling The Weave Corner. We're here for Rogue versus G2. Weird that that's what we're going to focus on.
Yeah,
but,
super weird.
Seemingly appropriate.
With three anime experts,
I know,
I'm surprised
it's
that
really
we talk
odd
about
this is where
anything
they
other
let
than
us
that.
focus, but I guess that's what we're on. Mickey, before we talk about anything else, quick hits on the last game. It was a banger fight in bot lane at level 1. How are you feeling about that match?
I mean, I feel pretty good about the match. I felt like we played more aggressive, so that was nice to see. I mean, yeah, 2v2 bot lane. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to do when they have cleanse and we have heal, and Leona's pretty strong. But I made sure to like counteract their grief with my grief by just getting hit by Jin W. So like, because I was just like saying like, okay, Rail just died. He could be like anywhere on the map. He has like tempo, and then I just ate a W in my face. But in theory, like Patrick should have blocked it, so it's kind of on him.
Yeah, but Mickey, you know we love narratives, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we like to believe that every time you play against Hylissang, there's like something inside you that, you know, you just level up because you're both veteran supports. You can now confirm for us that that is in fact true, right?
I wouldn't say so. Maybe sometimes
God
he
damn it,
believes
Mickey.
a bit more. I think sometimes if he plays against me, he just like, I don't know, he just wants to give me the win. And today was one of those days where he wanted to give me the win, and I appreciate it. I'm a big fan. Thank you.
All right, felt a little disrespectful. Respect to you, you did get the win. Now, focusing ahead to the match in front of us, before we get into the nitty-gritty, this is for you, audience. Let us know at home who you think will win. Head over to discord.lec.gg and vote for Rogue or G2 right now. We'll keep a look on that. We'll keep an eye on, keep an eye on that poll as we go later. I would love, Mickey, to get your thoughts on this week and past week Rogue compositions. We spoke on Euphoria earlier this week about how good you think their drafts are. I'd love to hear some of the specifics with some of the examples that we have.
Yeah, the problem is I can't really see the screen.
Well,
but,
that's fine.
You know,
I'll give you the summary.
I'll try to think back of yesterday when we lost them.
Vedi's going to read them out to you.
Yeah,
And
okay.
together you will form a single analyst.
Exactly. So,
Alright,
I mean,
let's do that.
a common trend that we see from Rogue is like an engaged top with something like the Ornn is a very common blind pick that we often see from Odoamne. Volibear and Viego are very common jungle picks that we've been
I
seeing
can see it now.
recently. Oh, you see them?
No, yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you-
Okay, a lot of range supports,
Yeah.
which is like not that common, I guess, for most teams. I guess for Trymbi, I also like I didn't think he was a range support kind of player, but I mean, looks like tank jungle and tank top, and then range or like double range bot lane seems to work for them really well, and of course just like some scaling mid lane picks. And then, it's the recipe for success, I guess.
But the thing that I think was pretty interesting about Rogue's drafts is that they almost always have like 2 winning lanes. Is something that I feel that they always try to go for, because it was something that we saw a lot from Rogue last year, where ideally they would try and get 3 winning lanes, but often you'll see that they either have a winning 2v2 bot, or sometimes you will get that Gwen matchup from Odoamne because he knows that I can actually get the push in this matchup. So it feels like that them trying to get those prio lanes are still important to them. Do you think this is a trend that they have continued and is common for Rogue, or do you think this is just something that they're being given kind of freely a lot of?
I mean, I think they're kind of getting it for free. I feel like teams don't really try to draft that good lanes into the range matches bot lane because usually I think they pick together like both their bot lane, like they usually complete it early, and I think people could like pick counters that can be winning lanes into that. Or even for mid lane, I think they pick out of like Corki blind or like Victor blind. So people, I think, can in theory counteract that and get pushing lanes. I think just so far they get away with it. And a lot of the times, the jungler is just perma ganking. So even if they do have losing lanes, it turns into winning lanes if they get ganked or like if the gank works. But then if it doesn't work, I think it could be very sad for them. Yeah.
It's fair.
We'll have to find out if it works out today, because they are going to be going up a jungler that you know very well. Jankos is going to be his 500th game. Yeah, maybe too well. You can let it. I mean, you know probably more about Jankos than anyone else on this planet, so you'll let us know if that's too much. Of course, what are your thoughts on this jungle matchup specifically, as Malrang has been that guy who, you can see very G2 favored here. Surprising given the Rogue Rado. What are your thoughts on this jungle matchup? Malrang, obviously the super aggressive gank all the time jungler. Jankos has been, let's say, a little bit more flexible in his style.
I'm not really sure if that's even a question. I think Jankos is going to get absolutely destroyed. No, I think so far he's been playing quite alright. I was kind of surprised. I was hoping for like the Kiana meta, but unfortunately the champ got nerfed. But I was really hoping to see Kiana by Jankos. Unfortunately, he got away with like pinning other champions, so could actually be close if he doesn't have to pick anything.
I can hear so much like repressed anger now being unleashed, you know? It's like, I'm not on his team anymore, so I can just say what I think. And he's going against the Korean jungler, so he's gonna lose, because I know exactly what happened.
No, but I think G2 has like a decent chance of winning against them in general. I think bot lane is kind of even. I think top side, I think it's in G2's favor, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think Rogue are maybe better as a team and in draft, so yeah, I think maybe like 49% G2, 51% Rogue, in my opinion.
Pretty close.
We'll see.
That's good. It says 60-40 behind us though, Mickey. I'm just saying.
I think G2 might just have the plot armor, so.
G2 certainly have in the past had a lot of armor. Didn't do you a lot of good, but it seems to be doing this season's G2 much better. Now, the fans seem to agree on the Jankos mid-season MVP. Of course, you can join the conversation with hashtag #PingTheLobby. We know it's First Blood King Jankos, says Lexi. Hashtag #PingTheLobby. Mickey, mid-season MVP, who's your frontrunner? If you had to pick an MVP right now at this point in the season, who would you actually look at?
I mean, probably Malrang. He's just getting like so much free stuff, and I don't know, no one. He's getting away with it for fun, and he's like getting a lot of wins for them as well. So I mean, so far it would have to be him until he gets punished for it.
Yeah.
Yesterday we did Nautilus gang, so you know we are the first team to start punishing.
I mean, beat Fnatic today.
I love it.
The Excel stocks are rising. I'm sweating a little bit, to be completely honest. Caedrel and I have a wager on Euphoria, and I may have
a wager?
I bet against Excel. There's a costume and a song involved. It's very embarrassing. Mickey wasn't on the roster when I made the bet. It's very hard. Anyway, it's not about us. It's about this match between Rogue and G2, and we're only minutes away from getting into picks and bans for this top-of-the-table clash. Rogue looking to find that first win to finally defeat G2 in a regular season match.
They lost the finals in spring, they came third in summer, and lost their two key superstar players, and no one gave them a chance.
The loss of Hansama and Inspired is huge. It's not going to be the Rogue of old.
I think it is a really big loss for the EU scene.
I think this off-season for Rogue is just damage mitigation.
Well, I know the fans are a bit, let's say, disappointed of losing like their two superstar players, but I still think like Rogue knows how to succeed, right? And I'm pretty sure we'll do this still.
So this year it feels like talent-wise we're at a comparable level. Time will tell how good we can become, but just the fact that we can improve so much easier is definitely the big benefit for this roster.
I honestly believe that we should have won at least one LEC last year. And now I want to make it work. I want to actually win LEC.
Got no time to escape in this one. The curtain call come. The sniper the team needed.
It goes down. Call of the Forge got used as well, and there's a blast going for Comp. Hook onto the Riptail and will pull the Brob into the waiting arms of Comp. Selfmade tries to trade it back. Who are you going to go for, Malrang?
Still don't know. They don't know, Medic.
Unforgiven. Welcome to the party. Unforgiven gets dunked by Larssen. Malrang going to get chased down here, trying to turn it onto Dayor, and Malrang actually just kills off Zanzara.
This guy is just way too good, I think, for you junglers, and after being next to Canyon for like a year and watching him play, I'm pretty sure he should gap on many people.
I feel like my drive doesn't only come from not making it to Worlds, but also from us just not being what we used to be. You know, when we were winning in G2, that was the best time of my life, and I really want to bring it back.
Standing in the way of what could be an undefeated season is the final test for Rogue. They have never beaten G2 Esports in a regular season game.
And in fact, by pushing through the mid lane, they get the TP immediately into the root, into the stun, into the death! As the BrokenBlade, the Darkin Blade slides in. Razzle and Humanoid forced up to the top side. Flakked gets the chrono shift. He doesn't need the life, but he does need the the assist from Targamas, as much as Upset can get a single shut down.
Misfits forcing a fight. It's a good call, but G2, are they too far ahead? Now Alti coming across. VTO buying a bit more time, but he's going to get burned down before the fight kicks it off. And now BrokenBlade comes into the backline. Misfits had a man advantage for a brief moment, but it will not matter.
A draft against Rogue will have to be quite creative to win, but at the same time, I'm very confident that if we play scaling, we can actually win, and if we play early game, we can actually win. So, yeah, we will see. It's gonna be a banger.
I think they will still have the similar style, the style of playing control, playing with pressure. That's just Rogue's style, so we'll see what will happen.
Will Rogue finally be able to overcome G2 in the regular season, or will G2 put a stop to Rogue's rampage?
Ooh. Tension at an all-time high here on the desk. We get ready for our match of the week. Of course, we are moments away from picks and bans. So let's talk a little bit about it. We got a little bit of time. Feels like the first 3 bans for everybody are exactly, I mean, we just get some Corki bans, some LeBlanc bans, some Twisted Fate bans. What gets weird in this draft? What should either team leave open? What picks do you guys have your eyes on?
I think the only big pick to me that stands out is the Senna for G2. They seem to be the only one that plays at Mikyx. Do you think it's really like good, or do you think it's just a G2 thing now? Yeah.
I mean, we kind of played Senna last week. I think it's not bad. I think it's just maybe a little bit worse than the other 3 big ADs. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I think Jinx, Caitlyn are like a bit better, and then it's like a Filio Senna. But I think with Senna, you're quite flexible in what you want to do, especially before next patch, before the farming Senna gets nerfed.
Yeah.
So you can actually play it farming and fasting, and you can pair a lot of supports with it. So it's definitely not bad, yeah.
I like it. See if we find any curveballs as we do officially get the draft started, keeping our eye on these first few bans to see what's
You can see the draft, right, Mikyx? See?
Nope.
Okay.
No? Okay,
we'll get there. One step at a time, Mikyx.
But I'm imagining it.
We'll ASMR the draft. Imagine handsome pictures of all your former teammates and their brand new friends as they ban Caitlyn. Share my favorite character. Is there ban arcane characters left and right? The Jace on the opposite side. Thresh following. So, okay, so far it feels pretty stock standard. Let's say the Jace obviously feels very targeted at BrokenBlade. Everything else feels pretty much in the realm of normal bans. LeBlanc also going to hit the bench.
No real surprise when playing against Caps, as we often talk about G2. Yeah. Mikyx, it was well known that you would, I don't know whether willingly or, you know, being forced to, you would group up with Jankos, and then you would often play through Caps, unlock him on the map, and then he would start attacking these side lanes. It was a very traditional G2 way of playing the game, and it's not actually that different even with Targamas on the roster. So removing champions like LeBlanc makes a lot of sense.
Kind of wondering if Rogue goes for the TF ban here, because, G2 is not known for picking TF when they want to win. So it's a good gamble, because Rogue might just get TF right now.
Okay. if it's a good gamble, then what do they get on the opposite side if the TF is locked in here by
Zeri?
Zeri's open.
Do you think Comp would play Zeri?
I don't know. I hope so. Okay. I guess now they get like Corki, and then
Corki Zeri?
I guess a jungler. I mean, yeah, that's not too bad there. But I do think TF is maybe just a little bit too imbalanced. So I guess Jinx is also not bad. They do play a lot of Jinx. Comp is like the Jinx master in the last few weeks. Play this champ quite often. And they can give a range support now as well.
Do you prefer, because we've been seeing a lot of Leonas with Jinx recently, do you prefer things like the Lulu with the Jinx, or do you think that engaged supports are better?
I mean, it just depends what you need. If you have like a jungler that can't really engage by himself, let's say you have like a Viego or maybe like a Xin, maybe an engaged support is better. But if you have like a Jarvan or Lee Sin or something that wants to go in, I think range supports are usually stronger, because range supports will win you laning phase, and you will just out-heal really hard, especially with Jinx. She can like 1 minute in the game.
What about into Zeri? What support would you now think about?
I don't know. I think I would just take the -3 and dodge this one.
Yeah.
Take the FTF and Zeri, and Jankos is on Lee Sin, contrary to popular belief, he's not too bad on Lee Sin nowadays. He used to be very bad at Lee Sin, but now he's actually played it so much that he's actually passable.
Okay.
So it's pretty good draft, looking like a pretty good draft from G2 so far, yeah.
Okay. So with jungler,
I'm not sure about the Rakan pick. I think the Rakan pick does look a little bit troll.
Why?
But yeah, I think they should just go for like a jungler. Maybe if they need, I don't know, an engaged jungler or tank jungler like the Volibear they played in the past, they could go 4 or 5 with support, pick a range support, and secure a winning lane. Now they're just kind of are FFing the lane, I think, because yeah, G2 will get 2 counter picks in bot lane, and most likely they'll push because Rakan doesn't really have a winning matchup against many champs. So yeah.
Interesting. As we now see the Zilean, of course, banned away. Opting to match here. Jungle role going to be what we expect to see G2 targeting. The Volibear, a good highlight, something that could take away the Viego. Also something that Rogue has liked to pick up in the past.
Yep. I mean, you would expect that Rogue is saving counter pick for Odoamne, which to me suggests that the only reason why Rogue have picked Rakan here is because they want to guarantee that they can get an engage so that they can have something like Jace or Gwen top. That's what it suggests to me. And the only reason why I would think you would want Rakan is Zeri's kind of fast and annoying, but flash, charm, knock-up, I feel like from a Rakan is very difficult to dodge. But I think... Tell me.
Sorry for interrupting, but there's one more champion that's really hard to dodge his ult, and it's Nautilus. Because
yeah, that's also true.
It doesn't matter how much movement Zeri has, she will get hit by that.
Look, Mickey, I understand.
Yeah, I think if they really wanted to engage, they could have picked Nautilus.
Look,
I'm just putting it up.
All right, you can't just come in here and use logic like that. That's not,
sorry.
That's not balanced, dude. It's a little unfair. All right, we'll take your word for it that Nautilus has a reliable point-and-click ultimate. Hard to be sure. Would have to check the wiki. In the meantime, Xin has now been locked in. Again, a champion who we saw a lot of success in the previous game with this guy. I love the Q1 and 2 into the Q3 for the instant knockup. Can be solid and standard approach. Honestly, surprised it didn't get banned away, but I guess the logic from G2 Esports is we'd rather ban blind pickable top laners and force the counter pick to come out from Odoamne.
Are they really blinding? Okay,
Ooh.
they're blinding. Oh, they must be assuming that this is a Gwen blind for Odoamne top, and they might be saying that you don't have any other good answers into. Okay, there's no way that this is a Sin support.
Yeah, probably not.
Do you think Poppy support could be good here?
No.
No?
I don't think so. Okay. I think Poppy is like, it's fine, but it does. I think you need at least 3 champs that you can reliably stop their dashes.
Fair.
And they only have like Rakan and kinda Xin, I guess. I think Corki W is whatever.
Okay.
So I wouldn't pick Poppy here, no. Also, I don't know how good it is with Zeri, but probably not the greatest.
True, probably not.
Probably not. No, there it is. The
Nautilus, I think, is a pretty good pick here.
Yeah.
They have TF, so as soon as level 6 hits, bot lane is really volatile. They also have push just because Nautilus wins against Rakan. And yeah, Jinx should have a hard time because she's not very mobile.
Oh.
And they have some front line. Okay.
Okay.
That's an Akshan top lane for that has got to be the least Odoamne champion I've seen locked in a long time.
He always says on his stream the 2 best blind pickable champions for top lane are Jace and Akshan. He will die on that sword, so he's a very frequent Akshan player.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure how good the matchup is, but they do play against TF, so at 6 he can't play the game. So I'm not sure if this pick is very smart, but best of luck to him. Hope his E's are very good so he can get a win.
All right, Mickey, it sounds like you are favoring G2 in the draft. And again, you did say draft is 80% of the game. You feel like G2 have hard won this draft?
It's like a complete stomp.
Do you think ultimately that the trade of Twisted Fate for Jinx plus Corki was just not worth it?
Yeah. You guys, you have to like respect the TF, guys. Some people can't even flex it, so yeah.
Wow.
You don't want to give this guy away.
Yeah, he means him. He played support TF. If you didn't watch the episode, I don't think.
Come on, man.
I don't think it's
true.
Good.
That's a fair point. You got me with that one. Okay, well, so Mickey believes that Rogue is gonna their undefeated streak is gonna end, and I think his logic is sound. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Look, we're gonna have to find out as we get closer and closer to the game itself, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for G2 versus Rogue.
Thank you very much, Analyst. Thank you very much, Mickey, as well. A turbo stomp in the draft here by G2. And before we get on into the action, Jankos has 500 LEC games under his belt.
The most of any LEC player,
most
I believe.
of any LEC
player, I believe. So
congratulations, Jankos.
Oh, wait, hang on a sec. There's a Rakan there. So he must have W'd over to try and get a ward that he's going to place. Oh, there we are. Hello. Hello. Just next to the ward, placed onto the red buff by Trymbi. So, wow, must have been a small vision pocket there that G2 didn't see. And that'll give them a lot of information as to where Jankos is starting, but I completely agree with the desk where you've got this Akshan pick, which is going to be great in lane into the Akali, but against TF, it's going to be very difficult to play the game past 6, especially considering Rogue's comp is more of like a 1-4 comp. The only real help he can get is maybe his jungle support teaming up and going towards the top side of the map, but on side lanes later on, it's also going to be very difficult, so expecting Merc Treads, maybe Legend Tenacity, as much kind of tenacity as possible for this Akshan to withstand the TF ganks.
And we saw Odoamne having a brief look into the blue side jungle of G2 there because of this vision being down. They know that Jankos is starting on red. Comp and Trymbi get a free start to the lane, means that they should be able to get to the level 2 first.
Wait.
So they actually saw Trymbi go in.
They saw Trymbi go in, but they didn't see anyone else. So maybe they thought there was more of Rogue there, but they didn't actually see them walk in. Maybe they thought they went through Krugs up into red, and Trymbi was the only one off the side because of some kind of engage tool. So yeah, G2 should know that it was warded, so that's also good information. The enemy team having a ward on you is one thing, but you knowing that the ward there is another thing, because you can play with their information and what they know. But Jankos is going to go red into Krugs, into Raptors, run over the ward, and clear towards the top side of the map. Malrang doing the exact same thing, but instead patting down towards the bot side.
While we have a second in the early game, I'd like to bring everyone's attention down towards the bottom lane. Flakked on the Zeri. Second time we've seen this champion played in the ADC. We saw it yesterday as well. And in case anyone doesn't know what Zeri does, her Q is basically her auto attack. So when you see her fire out those 7 shots, that's her Q. Doesn't use any mana, applies on hit effects, and each of those 7 shots can actually proc some of the passives. So you can fully apply Black Cleaver, for example, or you can fully take down a GP barrel with a single Q.
And I believe her Q auto attack, whatever we'll call it a Q, is longer range than her actual auto attack. Yes. So it's very common when the Zeri pops ultimate and is getting all these stacks for the move speed, you actually stop auto attacking completely and you only use your Q as your auto attack. A lot of AD carries play with A click. Now it's kind of like click Q almost.
Q click.
Q click, something like this is what I've been told. But anyway, Malrang's actually invaded Jankos towards the top side. He's sitting on... Gonna blast gun over. Jankos is gonna spot him. 1v1. Zhao wins this 1v1 level 3.
Wind Becomes Lightning comes out. Both of them do have the smite. Malrang's gonna try and spot out Jankos with the Scryer's Bloom. Won't find him, and instead just goes towards the Scuttle Crab. Does delay Jankos on this clear.
Yeah, he had information from where he started, so he's gonna invade him because I think the good thing about this for Malrang is his top's always gonna push, and his mid lane wants to push as well. So finding jungle just allows him to free up so much time. Malrang's actually just gonna beeline mid instead. Look for a gank here, but
Caps with the gold card underneath the tower. Malrang's gonna take 2 tower shots there. Should be able to walk out of this one, but now we'll have to path down towards the bottom side of the map.
Caps might flash forwards here.
Had the empowered auto attack from his E passive, but decides against it.
Yeah, he might think flashing forwards there, he won't be able to follow because Malrang will flash away, but because TF had his E stacked up and with a W, any card would have got the kill because of how low Malrang's HP was, but instead it's going to back off. A lot of information for G2 now because now they know Malrang is pushed towards the bot side of the map and he's stuck there. So now Odoamne all of a sudden has to back up a bit, give a little bit more leeway to BrokenBlade in this lane, which not great for the Akshan. He wants to play a bit more aggressive, but for now he's going to have to wait for his jungler to come back top. And the early game will slow down. Look how many wards Rogue have on the map. They have wards everywhere. Double
6
scuttle,
of them,
3 wards in bot side river,
wards,
3 wards in top side river. I'm calling the scuttles wards as well. Slowly starting to expire though, and looks like Caps is going to ward their Raptors and back off.
You see as well, BrokenBlade deciding to go for the rejuvenation triple bead here in the top lane, build himself a bit of a necklace out of those because he knows he's going to be constantly harassed by the Akshan in lane. All of that extra health regeneration will help him out, keep topped up in these trades. And both these top laners have been at the top of their game so far in the LEC Spring. The 2 leading in terms of damage a minute. BrokenBlade has had more of a total damage share for his team, but expectations are high for this top lane matchup.
Yeah, a little bit different kind of play styles, but still so reliable for their teams. Odoamne kind of like left on his own, doing so well on his own though. BrokenBlade getting a little bit more resources, but almost 30% of his team's damage. He is the highest damage share on his team, and he's played a unique champion every single game. This is his second Akali game now. But very deep champion pool, very reliable carry. Odoamne is kind of a bit of both. He can blind pick top, he'll pick Ornn. You need engage, I'll be the engage. But now we're seeing a little bit of a different style from Odoamne. We're seeing the Akshan. We have seen his Camille and his Jace, but the only other Akshan I can remember is Perk's mid lane Akshan.
It didn't go too well for him then.
But they had so much CC and lockdown, so it's very difficult for him. But this time around, it's the TF Nautilus, which is going to be the pains for him. Targamas almost found Larssen.
That's the power of the Valkyrie for Corki in the mid lane. G2 have 4 players, basically a handkerchief thrown across them here as Jankos tries to steal away these Razor Beaks. Should be able to secure them. Larssen could look for a steal with a missile, but he doesn't have a big one built up. And although Trymbi can step forward and just distract Jankos for a moment, that does mean that the camp remains up for Malrang.
Yeah, bot push coming in from both sides. Rogue had the bot push, but Targamas just left the wave and moved towards mid. Trymbi matching here. I mean, this is just, you see this every game, every region. This is how the game naturally works, just contesting mid waves, keeping up mid push so you can move with your mid laner to sides or get them better base timings. And of course, if you don't match the enemy support, your mid laner can't walk up, which is not what you want. So it often turns into 2v2s, 3v3s around mid. As Malrang is going to join the party soon as well, because this crab is spawning. Caps has ultimate up and it has spellbook with ignite as well. 6 minutes, that's unlocked. And now it's a stare down. Who wants to start this first? If Malrang does, he's going to get collapsed on.
Trymbi's moving the opposite direction here.
Now, if Rogue want to collapse on this, Odoamne is going to have to walk through the river with no vision. He's going to get collapsed on by TF ultimate. Level 6 Akali probably will die, so smart by Rogue to just give that up. Hefty CS lead being built for Odo in the top side. Larssen happily farming mid.
Kind of to be expected for Odo. The ranged into predominantly melee matchup for the Akshan into Akali does mean that he'll get that CS lead. Now has a Vamp Scepter as well. Odoamne already scaling up into this Akshan, and part of the power of Akshan is the going rogue ability, his ability to move around the map invisibly, but TF can actually neuter that quite a lot with the Destiny Gate. You know, if you put that down as Trymbi actually rooted up here, we'll have the second portion of the battle dance, but he's pulled back and has to use the W to escape in that bottom lane.
Yeah, Targamas cancelled his first E with the auto, cancelled the second one with the hook, so he has to use his knock-up ability, his damage tool to get away. So of course G2 naturally winning out. I think Aftershock supports or kind of like tanky engaged supports naturally do well into Rakan in lane. And now Malrang's hovering behind Odo, maybe expecting some kind of gank from Jankos, just trying to cover him so he can crash these waves. And this is what Rogue have to do. Yes, you have really good top push, and yes, the Akshan can win in isolation against the Akali because of the ranged matchup, but you need to cover this Akshan as much as possible. If you give them a window to TF full top and the Akshan dies, Akali gets first blood, all of a sudden this top matchup is skewed all the way back into G2's favor, and the CS lead means absolutely nothing. So Rogue need to juggle mid and top very well, so they're probably going to use their support to move around the map as much as possible, leaving Comp to farm alone.
And you can see Targamas actually already moving up towards this top side with Rift Herald spawning just about now. We'll see Rogue investing a little bit of time on this top side of the map. Actually looks like all of G2 maybe making a beeline for the Rift Herald.
Yep, Herald up. Comp's going to try to push bot as fast as possible. Looks like Flakked's going to skate his way down towards
going bot
lane. Caps might have to flash here. Trymbi could predict it.
Gold card comes out and stuns Trymbi out of the knockup. Caps drew it just in time. The luck of the deck in his favor there.
Yeah, cold-blooded there. Didn't even burst a flash. Didn't even try to sidestep anything. Just trusted his mechanics. Stunned the knockup. Walks away. Refuses to elaborate. Targamas is going to come mid, help him push out here. Caps might need to base, but it's not too bad for G2. Of course, he has the Twisted Fate ultimate, the Destiny to rejoin any kind of fight that happens. Of course, Larssen has the package now as well, so who's going to start the Herald first is the question. Rogue, if they are going to start the Herald, they need to escort Odoamne or help him get some top push to get into this topside river.
He's going to start working his way down here. Going Rogue, you can see that invisibility. Wasn't fully spotted out by that vision ward, but will be as he steps forward now and reveals himself to clear out the control. Whoa. Oh, flash hook, counter flash. Odoamne almost put the nails in his own coffin there.
This is the problem though now, because Odoamne is just so far zoned away. He's going to be flanking as Akshan. It's going to be very dangerous. Also, Flakked's here too, so I think Rogue, this package is going to run out soon as well, so I think they're just going to have to give this back off and try to get something bot.
I think that's the wise move. As soon as Odoamne had to burn his flash, Trymbi, of course, has the double E. Both charges on that. After you use it once, you can use it again. So even if he's hooked out of the initial one, has that second to get away. Rogue now working their way down towards the bottom side, looking for more damage on this bot lane tier 1.
So now the difficulty G2 have is how do they retake their bot side control? Jankos is going to base and run through bot, I believe. And now the Nautilus and the Zeri have to pair together to face check this. Rogue lying in wait. G2 have Summoner's worst case scenario, but they need to retake control here so Flakked can catch the bot's wave. Rogue's going to start up the Dragon, but G2 are around to contest. No TPs, of course. Comp's going to get 3 plates off this Herald play, so will even out overall. Flakked lost quite a lot of creeps for this too, so might be a positive play for Rogue. We'll see how the Dragon pans out.
And although it looks like Rogue were waiting for G2 to try and spring a trap, really they were just delaying for Comp to get all 3 of those plates. Now that he's picked those up, he's going to likely back away, but Jankos is here. Trymbi's going to block this. Wait for the second E. Is rooted, gets away. And that is smart play from the Rogue support, making sure his AD carry couldn't be caught out.
They get the bot push now, though, so maybe Jankos wants to start up the Dragon. Trymbi level 5 still. Might have to be careful here.
He'll be spotted with Sweeper.
Toward jump.
There's a spotted with Sweeper! And immediately Jankos, even though he gets the kick away, is able to flash for the rocket. Not even needed to chase him down. Flakked dashing forward, but just doesn't have the damage yet on this Zeri.
Yeah, face checks a little bit there. The Sweeper spotted him out across the wall. Trymbi just kind of read the play. Maybe he thought there was some kind of blue buff invade, or Jankos wants to move into their bot side jungle with this bot lane push alongside Targamas. And Rogue are there to respond. First blood over to Trymbi. The carry didn't get the kill, unfortunately, but still, that stops any kind of pressure G2 had on this bot side, which they did. They could have started up a dragon there, but now they cannot. So, plates over to Comp, CS lead, but Herald still in Jankos' back pocket.
You see Odoamne, BrokenBlade just fighting for this top lane control ward. Odoamne won't clear it out because the wave's going to be pushed into him and he wants to catch that. He does have about a 400 gold lead on this Akshan. And in the bottom lane, Comp, those 3 plates have just skyrocketed him, Caedrel.
Yeah.
700 gold ahead.
XP, gold, creeps, all of those things going in his back pocket. And I think the problem Odo has is, yes, he's scared of the TF ultimate, but if the TF ultimate's never used, he's constantly scared of the TF ultimate. Yeah. So as much as he's not giving them an angle to ult top, he's always under threat of it because Caps is never going to go anywhere else at this point. Trymbi trying to cancel Caps' base here, going to face check.
Yeah, Caps locks in the gold card, but the rotation wasn't in his favor there. The cards are constantly ticking away in the background, I believe. That's still how Twisted Fate works, and so sometimes you can get a gold card immediately when you come out of the rotation.
It's constantly ticking throughout the entire game. You can count it, but of course it's really difficult to do so. Larssen just Wing on top of Caps.
Caps doesn't have a card. Trymbi's going in with the quickness here. Flash forward, but Trymbi wasn't even needed.
That's practically a solo kill. No ignites from Trymbi. Gets the assist with the shield, but BrokenBlade looking for Odo.
Odo's just going to dance away, gets the shield as well, so he's nice and safe there under the tower. Jankos, though, does have the Rift Herald, and they could try and put some gold into BrokenBlade's pocket here. Odoamne backs away, respecting the fact that Jankos was on this side of the map. Now, this Rift Herald is down pretty early here, Caedrel.
It is, but the problem is they don't have a wave, so they need something to tank up the tower. They realize they need to pressure this top side, because look at the bot side of the map. Malrang's taking away their red buff. We'll see if G2 can stop it, because they're going to start up Dragon as well. Comp's going to push in bot. Cap still has ultimate, so they could 3-man dive top here, which might have to be the play for G2, because they're unable to walk into the bot side, but the Herald's just going to get dropped. Jankos cancelled his base twice now. He really wants to do something towards the top side of the map. Odo is still half HP. He has kick. Odo is in stealth, but they know he's there. TP to defend. Yeah, look at Caps' positioning. Larssen read his movement and said, look, if he ultimates, I need to be there before he arrives. Otherwise, my top laner's dead. Preemptive TP gives Caps mid-push. Now they might just pivot to the bot side of the map.
You can see Jankos already working his way down towards that mid lane. Malrang does taking the Scuttle Crab, and TP from Odoamne to topside does mean that there's a TP advantage for G2 here. Malrang might look for the players who say Caps no flash, does have the heal. Flash Crescent Guard, everything misses. Caps not even knocked back, and immediately Malrang stunned up, but Jankos almost falls. Wind becomes lightning is enough. Malrang still surviving. Triumph.
The cards
heals him up. The cards coming out. The gold will be locked in, but not in time. Destiny out.
He got away. The auto attack got cancelled because he ulted away, but here comes the Jinx rocket.
Caps did everything right, but it went so wrong for G2.
Oh, it's a clinic from Rogue in the early game. Malrang fails the R-Flash knockback, but Jankos arrives, doesn't have that much burst, lands the Q-kick, Q combo, but Malrang was quite tanky. The damage couldn't come in from Caps because of the Crescent Guard, and Larssen, Q auto attack. Watch this auto attack animation. He just about gets it off, but it gets cancelled. But here comes my favorite Arcane series.
Bat chests in the chat. Comp finds it. Caps realizes at the last moment, but it's just too late.
The screen shake as well connects, and now look at the golds. I mean, 10 CS lead for Comp. He's up in experience as well because of the Herald play. Larssen sitting at 2-0 on a Corki, extremely accelerated. And because G2 have dive champions like Zeri, Nautilus, TF, perhaps Lee and Akali especially, he's not actually going for the full poke build. I think he's going to go towards a shield bow on hit Corki because he knows that there's not going to be much poke. He's either getting engaged on, and he needs to be able to do damage through auto attacks, not so much through the rockets.
But what a great start it is for Rogue here. 2,000 gold ahead, Caedrel. First dragon taken by them as well. A little bit late, so we are on for a late soul if they manage to stack it up. But constantly, just Rogue getting the right side of these plays. And they said it a bunch on the analyst desk, and we said it in the previous game, but Rogue have never beaten G2 in the regular season. They have won in playoffs against them before, but this would be 13th time lucky for our leaders of the league.
And they're in a great spot right now, 2,000 gold lead, but so much map control. And the problem is Caps and Jankos have great synergy. Lee and TF, great kill pressure on the Corki, but Larssen was never under threat, and Odoamne hasn't been ulted on a single time. The only Destiny use was Caps trying to escape. Ended up dying in the end, so no proactivity just yet from the top side of G2. And that's where they needed to find some kind of plays. The only kind of thing they found was the Herald drop, which kind of even out the gold for BrokenBlade. But for now, G2 going to put their bot lane mid to establish some kind of control on the map.
G2 is just trying to find an avenue back into this game, a foothold in it, because right now they are hemorrhaging gold. It is only 2,000, perhaps overblown to use the word hemorrhaging, but they're bleeding at an alarming rate. They need to stem that before Rogue continue to advance their lead. Now, Comp can push in the bottom lane. Larssen with the package can move between these lanes pretty quickly, and Rogue continue just to chip away at the G2 defenses.
Yeah, that bot tower is going to fall soon when Larssen moves towards the bot side of the map. Caps is going to have to give it up. G2 aren't in a position to contest this bot side jungle. They're not strong enough, and they don't have any vision at all. It doesn't look like they're going to even cross-map and go for a Herald. Instead, they want to try to force Rogue out.
Hook still hits onto Larssen there. He's going to package away, but Malrang now in the midst of 3. Good knockup with a death charge. Malrang pops the stopwatch. Targamas uses one of his own, but with the quickness coming in, Rogue are looking for the fight. The rocket once again. Malrang gets the kill. That's one quick kill for Rogue as they now retreat. They got the tower in the bottom lane. They get a kill in the jungle, and they get out.
Yeah, G2 tried to force the 3v3, which turns into a 4v4, but unfortunately this Xin Zhao is just too tanky. The ult buys so much time, and just when G2 thought they had him, the stopwatch came in, Trymbi arrives, and Rogue win the fight again. Another kill across to them. They got the bot tower as well. Larssen has Demolish. Maybe the mid tower falls too.
That should actually just fall down here. Larssen could take it very quickly. That's all, the mid and the bottom tower for Rogue. A 4,000 gold lead at the 17-minute mark, and Mikyx starting to be completed across the board for them as well. With a minute on the Dragon, you have to expect that Rogue will look towards continuing to extend this lead.
Yeah, it's a quality game from Rogue so far. Haven't dropped the ball a single time. As much as G2 had options and the tools to make these plays, Rogue never gave them a single angle to do so, and now they're swapping their bot lane top. The only tower that G2 almost took was the top one, but now that Comp and Trymbi are up here, it's very hard for G2 to force there because this is their strong side. Odoamne's been farming up quietly, still has a sizable lead against BrokenBlade, which is probably even out from the plates earlier on, but still, the 4v4 is in Rogue's favor. G2 gonna start up this Herald. Larssen and Odo are in mid. They're gonna move towards it. Rogue are a bit split. G2 are gonna force this.
No ult on Targamas, no ult on Jankos either. Rift all the way down to 5,000 though, and Odoamne had to run all the way up from the bottom lane. Now Rogue might look for this fight still. Larssen stepping forward. Jankos will secure the Rift Herald. Rogue a little bit split. G2 pushing forward. There's the stun onto one. They're looking for Odoamne on the backline. Comp locked up. Larsen's already on a killing spree though, and Odoamne is still very healthy. Comp dies to Flakked. Now, what can this Zeri do in a fight? Not much, because Malrang immediately dives onto her. Comeuppance out from Odo will connect onto Flakked, but he doesn't quite have the damage yet. Rift Herald picked up for G2, but they lose 2 for the favor.
Yeah, Rogue were a bit split and they didn't have the Rakan ultimate up. It is up now, so if G2 stay around here and Rogue crash this wave, they could look for a dive. Flakked has no summoners. Malrang's around. It's a 4v2 on the tower. Caps has TP and Destiny. Are they going to commit to this? Rogue, they have the Rakan ultimate.
Odo going in. There's the quickness. Looking for Flakked first. He's down. Flash away. Caps gets the Destiny onto the backline. Good double ever frost. Malrang should fall underneath the tower. Odoamne might go down as well, but he manages to flash away. Super mega death rocket. No way. Not again! Comp! What aimbot have you downloaded, and can I get it for my Valorant games? Because he is on point with this op.
That's 2 kills with the rockets. The Jin games as well, sniping out everyone every single game. Comp doesn't miss a single beat. Rogue get the top dive. That's 3 towers to Rogue as well. They were split around the Herald fight. They didn't have all the ultimates they might have wanted, but they still came out on top, and they've accelerated this lead.
Comp has got 2 kills. Both of them from the aptly named Super Mega Death Rockets.
Yeah, look at Comp though. This fight, a little bit unfortunate for him because he's very split. Trymbi commits with Malrang, which leaves the Jinx all alone, kind of. Trymbi does try to self-peel a bit, but yeah, Comp just gets taken out by BrokenBlade. But the other side of the fight is Rogue favored. They targeted Odoamne at the start, but they didn't have the burst to take him down. And then shortly after this, the top dive came in.
And we'll follow it through. Caps does go to mid, perhaps thinking that Rogue wouldn't go for this dive.
A nice try here by Caps when he ults in. If you watch Caps as he lands, he tries to flash away because he knows Trymbi is running straight towards him, so he tries to kite up. But unfortunately, there's just too many members of Rogue. Malrang falls. Odoamne almost gets BrokenBlade, flashes away from the E. Caps dies. And Comp finds BrokenBlade.
What is this rocket, man? Absolutely beautiful from Comp so far, and absolutely beautiful as well from Rogue. 6,000 gold their lead. A lot of people wondered perhaps if there was a bit of juju, if there was a bit of superstition around this match between G2 and Rogue, because G2 have never lost a regular season match to this Rogue team, but this lineup is reinvigorated, renewed, rejuvenated, and are putting G2 very much on the ropes.
Yeah, Rogue haven't put a foot wrong, and now they're trying to collapse onto G2 in their own jungle.
Targamas trying to get away. Malrang on the chase. Crescent Guard not used yet as they go forward for BrokenBlade. Larssen coming in from the side as well. BrokenBlade will have to perfectly execute his way away from the fight.
So they force G2 out. Don't think they're going to start Baron up though, but Larssen might be basing for package. G2 have objective bounties, so there is comeback potential. They just need to find picks over side. They have Akali TF. Maybe if they can single out Odoamne on a side lane. As I say, they might not be able to do Baron. The TP's coming in from Larssen. Does he have package? Yes, he does. So this can be used in two ways. One, for damage on the Baron, or two, to zone away the rest of G2. Do they know this is happening? Jankos on the way. Blue Orb's going to spot them.
So Comp did walk across the ward, coming out down towards this. I think G2 now realizing it might be happening. BrokenBlade TPs to the mid lane. 8,000 HP.
TikTok for
There's
G2.
No
Look at Trymbi as well. Destiny used.
Jankos has to walk into darkness. 4,000 HP on the Baron. Jankos looking for the flank. Has that Scryer's Bloom. Rogue, as you say, have to turn because Jankos is behind them now. Malrang, no Crescent Guard available for him. Where are we in terms of ultimates? No Super Mega Death Bucket. Malrang doesn't have an ult of his own.
G2 in a great spot here, but they might have to go for the flip. Rogue have to keep this Baron going. Otherwise, G2 can just drop this, go mid. Rogue are absolutely out of tempo. And they might be able to get themselves a mid-tier 2 if they just run towards the wave and push it in now. But Larssen has package, so he should be able to get all the way around in time. And G2 are not going to push for anything. They're just going to be happy
Trymbi's on a
that they stop the play.
Trymbi's on a ward. Hook coming out. BrokenBlade diving onto the backline. The package still available though, and Larssen onto the back. Just annihilates two. Larssen takes 2 quick kills. G2 thought they found a pick, but they were the ones being picked themselves. Comp opens up, call him Elton John because he's the rocket man this game. And with the comeuppance, finding Jankos, he is put into the dirt as Rogue turn their eyes back to the Baron.
Yeah, G2 were the ones trying to force this. They thought they had a pick on Rogue's recalls and it was a good timing for them to fight, but the package was still up. And Larssen comes up huge in this fight. Keep your eyes on the package because G2 tried to engage. It looks good with BrokenBlade and Targamas, but look at Larssen. QR combo on the bot lane of G2. Annihilated straight from the get-go. Comp gets the reset. He chases forwards. All of G2 have to run for the hills. And that's Baron across to them. The ultimate from Odoamne snipes him out. Malrang's there to clean up, just in case he lives. And G2 really haven't been able to find absolutely anything this game.
It's a shellacking. It's a demolition. It's methodical, and it is beautiful to watch for Rogue. 9-0 would tie them with G2 and Misfits as the second best record ever in the LEC. Of course, Fnatic hold the best 18-0, that legendary year, but there've only been 3 other teams that have ever got this far, and Rogue are looking to make it an undefeated first round robin.
10,000 gold lead, and as much as we criticized Rogue last year for getting insane amounts of gold leads and just throwing it away with the Rogue time meme, feels like time's up for that stopwatch, because honestly, their mid to late game just looks pretty much flawless. The Baron start was good, the execution was great, they overforced a little bit too much, but then G2 thought they had a play on them. But Rogue were the ones one step ahead. Inhib's gonna fall. Akshan, Odoamne with the bot push. Rogue can rotate into that. G2 got some kind of top push to stop them from being able to play on 3 lanes, but still, they're gonna play on this cannon minion wave. Rogue have engaged options from the flank of G2 if they try to hold this. Trymbi has flash and ultimate up, and they have 380 carries to hit these towers.
They melt so quickly here. Trymbi dancing in and out of the base. Looks like Rogue will wait for the next cannon wave to push in. Of course, this cannon can attack the tower from quite a long range and will continue to chip away at it. G2, last legs, last dregs, you feel, of hope in this game for them. Caps once again locks a gold card, but that should expire before Rogue really step forward. Caps gets one off. It's only onto Trymbi, and that is the tower down. Rogue continue to advance, continue to press forward, continue to press their advantage against this G2 lineup, who just can't find anything to get out of it. The quickness comes in. Great kick from Jankos, though, will disengage the fight. But a 3-man charm under the Nexus towers. Trymbi, even though he's kicked away, still found a way into the middle of the team fight and found the kill onto Caps. G2 now 4 strong, trying to defend, but with 2 cannon minions still here for Rogue, they continue to push in. Odoamne going Rogue down towards the bottom side as Rogue continues to look for the towers. The Nexus in their sights, the win in their sights, the undefeated record in their sights, but perhaps G2 have something to say about it as BrokenBlade takes 1. Reset though, regen. Odo brings back Trymbi. He's not needed for the final fight because Comp is cleaning up on the fountain. Rogue, the first half of the season, undefeated. Only G2, Misfits, and Fnatic have ever done it. Add Rogue to the lineup because they go 9-0.
What a bloody clinic from Rogue. 24 minutes, they take down G2. Second place team. I'm speechless, Medic.
What a performance, man.
Unbelievable. First half of the split for Rogue. Undefeated, undisputed best team in the league. All smiles across the faces. Wow.
Just an incredible performance by them. And it never looked close. Maybe a tiny bit in the early game, but Rogue just constantly harassed and harangued and pushed G2 back, and there was never an answer for this G2 lineup.
There was never a play where you thought G2 were showing signs of life or hope. The Destiny was used defensively. The top side never found the footing that G2 might would have wanted. Bot lane just snowballed out of control after this Herald play, moving from tower to tower. And Larssen, untouched, ungankable.
Yep.
So much damage from that Corki. And Rogue played perfectly around their lanes.
Incredible play by them. I will say Jankos, in a truly scripted manner, now is 300 and 200 on his all-time LEC record.
Oh,
300 wins yesterday, 200 losses today. Most games played of any player in the LEC. So obviously, you know, still a great weekend for him, although this loss may be a little sting in the tail. Now, your key player of the game votes at LEC on Twitter. Malrang, Larssen, and Trymbi are your options.
Oh, I think Larssen had a fantastic game. As much as I love accrediting all of the credit to the kind of setup before the carries carry, I think Larssen did his job fantastic.
Especially for that Baron fight. The package onto the backline, just 2 players out of the game.
Practically solo killed Caps as well. I mean, the Rakan being behind him didn't help Caps so much. The shield, of course, for the tower dive, but still.
Yeah, I mean, the shield didn't do anything for Larssen, really. He was already pretty healthy.
Yeah, we take those then. We count it.
Hey, as a support, you're just like, yep, 3 assists, you know, I just EU, excellent.
Just like with Jarvan, you always press E in the team fight. 5 assists.
Excellent. It works really well for you. Now, we are rounded up the first round robin of the LEC, Caedrel, and the way you look at it, while we just wait for the interview to get set up, we have Rogue at the top, G2 Fnatic just below them. I am just going to get the standings up here to make sure I don't mess this up. G2 Fnatic tied at 6 and 3 just below them. Then Mad Lions, Misfits, Vitality all at 5 and 4.
There's a lot of battles going on. Second place battle between G2 and Fnatic. You've got the 6th, 7th, 4th kind of battle going on between Misfits, Vitality, BDS, and Mad Lions. So there's kind of 2 different scraps. And then the bottom of the table, of course, Astralis, you had to pick up that win.
I mean, but XL also within 1 win of making it into playoffs. With like, it's kind of been their
story. I've heard that one before, Medic.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, man.
Many times.
That's just where they are in the league, Caedrel. I wasn't meaning to dig on you, but XL's Finn will be joining us in PGL after the break. But first, let's hear from Koolein, who's standing by with the victorious Larssen.
Thank you very much, Medic and Caedrel, and thank you, Larssen, for joining me on the winner's POV here. 9-0, that is insane. Looking at this game, it must have felt pretty one-sided. How did you experience it?
Yeah, it was definitely quite one-sided. It was a quite early game, but then it kind of exploded. Yeah, I mean, it was a very good game from us, probably the best game of the split, because we play against G2, who, in my opinion, is the strongest team. So I'm super happy with the game. It was just really, really well played by us.
I mean, yeah, they were your last challengers from the first half of the split. Now, looking at you specifically on your Corki, you said it was a good effort from the team, but I need to say at one point you were there for 13 kills of the 14 you had at that point. I mean, your performance on the Corki was stellar as well. Can we talk a bit about your game plan coming into this game?
I don't know. I mean, there's not much of a game plan. It's just to play like normal. There's nothing like special. It's play like you always do, and hopefully it goes well. And today it did. And it has been going very well right for the split. So, I mean, there's nothing special against like going against G2. We just play like we always do.
I mean, obviously it's been going well. I mean, you're 9-0 right now. Now, I do wonder, what do you think your biggest challenges were coming into these first 4 weeks of the split?
I mean, it's always yourself. Like, yourself is always the biggest challenger. We have been doing really well in like scrims, and it's showing on stage as well. So the challenger is always yourself, but also know that this is only regular season, and the most important thing is to be in really good shape for playoffs. But I'm happy that we're showing that we can be a strong contender for playoffs. That's very important, at least. Because I expect that Fnatic and Vitality and G2 will also be like super strong teams for playoffs. So it's all about just keeping and improving. But obviously, I'm very happy with the start. It's a very cool start.
Yeah, I can understand that it's a very cool start. But a good start is halfway. Now we need to look at the end. Do you think the 18-0 is achievable? What do you expect?
I mean, it's nothing I thought about, but I guess now that we won against everyone once, I guess it's something you can think about, but it's not really on my mind. On my mind, it's just taking day by day and just improving for playoffs, because, I mean, like, you can go 18-0, but it doesn't matter at all, like, when playoffs comes around. If you lose in best playoffs, then who cares about 18-0? Even though it would be super cool, right, to go 18-0 would be, like, historic, but there's nothing on my mind, really.
Yeah, it will be the first time we see that ever happening. Larssen, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for your insight. Once again, congratulations, 9-0. It's an insane performance.
Thank you, thank you.
We're going to head on over to a break, but when we come back, we'll be here with the PGL, and we'll be joined by Excel's top lane, Finn. So don't go anywhere.